Om. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. My humble pranams to all Atmajyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Bhagavad Gita, Gudhartha Deepika by Sri Madhusudana Saraswati. I am not a Jnani, I am not a Pandita, I am not a Guru. I am just a Sadhaka, seeker. I am conducting this study hour as a means for my learning. I am referring a book published by Ramakrishna Matham, Bhagavad Gita, Gudhartha Deepika, Madhusudana Saraswati, translated by Swami Gambhirananda. I am reading from this book and referring this book and conducting this study hour. If there are any mistakes in my understanding, please forgive me. There may not be mistakes in the original work. Mistakes could be mine. So, last session, we have seen the introduction by the Madhusudana Saraswati. Invocation and introduction. Today is an auspicious day. We are starting the chapter 1, Shloka 1. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Melancholy of Arjuna. What is the highest Purushartha that he is saying? Two. So it was concluded in the last session. The highest Purushartha is this scripture, esteemed scripture Bhagavad Gita, is for the enlightening a person to remove, eradicate sorrow and delusion. So, for that, Sri Krishna in chapter number 2, shloka number 11, has said, you grieve for those who are not to be grieved for. What does this mean? We people have suffering because of attachment to people, wealth, and properties. So if you see, you grieve for those who should not be grieved for, can be understood as our misplaced attachment is the cause for suffering. Okay. and also attain the highest human goal, Purushartha, highest human goal, through the performance of one's natural duty, Swadharma. This instruction is for all in general. This dialogue between Arjuna and Sri Krishna is to establish the importance of jnana in one's life. Just like in the Upanishadic times, there was a conversation between sage Yajnavalkya and King Janaka. Similarly, this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna is also a dialogue which establishes the Jnana Yoga. How is this? Arjuna was a Kshatriya, is a noble person, warrior class. He is well read, he knows all the Dharma Shastras, but at the time, beginning of the battle, he lost balance of mind because he saw his relatives and on both sides of the armies, and because he had a I, me, mine, these are my people, I'm going to kill them, this kind of attachment is there. He's supposed to uphold the dharma, but he had an attachment to the people, that these are my people. Because of that, he had a feeling that I belong to them and they belong to me. This is nothing but ajnana, ignorance. Therefore, he wanted to not to do the war, not to engage in the battle, which is the swabhava of a kshatriya. Engaging in a war is a swabhava, natural duty for a person who is of warrior class. Arjuna came to the battle of his own accord also. It is he who wanted to do the war. But he desisted from that and he wanted to take up sannyasa, don't do the war and live on alms, Viksha, which is not allowed for a Kshatriya. It is not a natural duty for a Kshatriya. Kshatriya, a king or a princely person, a ruling class person, is a person who is in the administration of the state and he will be giving alms rather than taking alms. So, taking alms is for a Brahmana. A Brahmana who is in the academic profession, he will continue his academic profession by way of grants from the government. Grants are given by the administrative people. Arjuna belongs to the administrative class rather than to the academic class. So, because he had an attachment to the relatives, he cannot say, I will run away from ruling class and I will become like a Brahmana, living on alms and take up sannyasa. It is not allowed. This attachment, I belong to these people and they belong to me, is delusion and sorrow. Because of the Lord's instruction, Sri Krishna's teaching in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna has regained the vision of what he should do and what he should not do. And he engaged in that battle and he emerged victorious. So, this Bhagavad Gita dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna is a dialogue of knowledge. And anybody who has this confusion about what is the right knowledge is eligible for studying this scripture. Arjuna, when he came to the battlefield, he had the urge to fight. He wanted to win the kingdom. But after looking at the relatives, the both sides of the army who are going to be killed as part of the war, he was overcome by delusion. It is not compassion. He was overcome by delusion, attachment, moha, that these are my people and they are going to be get killed. So because of that, he wanted to run away, turn away from the battle. The first shloka starts with Bhagavad Gita starts with Dhritarashtra Uvacha, meaning Dhritarashtra says like this. And this is told by sage Vaishampayana. Sage Vaishampayana is recounting Mahabharata to the descendants of Pandavas, telling the story of Pandavas, story of Mahabharata. So Vaishampayana is saying, Dhritarashtra said like this. So Dhritarashtra Uvacha. Dhritarashtra is saying this. First shloka. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavashchaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. O Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra was sitting very far in his palace. He is a blind person. He cannot see what is happening in the battlefield. Dhritarashtra is the king. His sons are Duryodhana and Kauravas. His brother's sons are Pandavas. So it's a war between cousins for the kingdom. So Dhritarashtra is worried. What happens to my children? He is blind not only physically, he is emotionally also he is blind. Being a king, he has to deliver justice. He has to be impartial towards his sons and sons of his brother Pandu. But instead of being impartial, He is very partial and he favored his own sons over giving justice to others. Even though his own sons were wicked, he kept on supporting them and propping them up. And that led to the great Mahabharata war. And this is the starting. Before that, the sloka. So what Dhritarashtra is saying, Dhritarashtra had an aide called Sanjaya. Sanjaya is able to have a television. He is able to see Divya Drishti, divine vision, to see what is happening far off in the battlefield. And he is giving a running commentary to Dhritarashtra. So what is Dhritarashtra saying? O Sanjaya, what did my sons, Duryodhana and Kauravas, did, and Pandu's sons, sons of Pandu, what did they do when, eager for battle, they want to fight, they assembled on the sacred land of Kurukshetra. Dhritarashtra has heard about the great warriors of the sons of Pandu were great warriors. Arjuna and Bhima are unmatched in a battlefield. So he was naturally afraid that they will defeat his sons. So he has heard various victories of Pandavas, Arjuna and Bhima in earlier days. During when they established Indraprastha, they vanquished many kings. So he knows very well the prowess of Arjuna and Bhima. So Dhritarashtra is seized with fear of the loss of the kingdom of his own sons. He has a doubt that his own sons may lose the battle. Therefore, his own sons were eager for battle earlier. Yutsavaha. They are eager for battle. They had a desire for fighting. Kim, what? Mamakaha, my sons, Duryodhana and others. Pandavaha, sons of Pandu, Yudhishthira and others. Pandavas are 5. Yudhishthira, Bhimasena, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva. Akurvata, do. What did they do? Samaveta, when they assembled, when the armies are arrayed in Kurukshetre, on the holy sacred land of Kurukshetra. They assembled there with a desire for fighting. Did they fight with that desire intact, or did they change their mind? They went there for fighting, but because the land is holy land, Kurukshetra, it's a Dharma Kshetra. Because of the holy land, they might have, because of the holiness of that particular land, Kurukshetra, their mind might have changed Their intention might have changed. The holiness, the holy land might have changed their mind, and they might have stopped fighting. Not only that, it could be another reason. Because of the valiant heroes like Bhima, Arjuna, and Bhishma, fear might have aroused. They might be afraid of the battle. This fear is understandable. So because of this fear, Dhritarashtra said, Dharma Kshetre. This is on the sacred field of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is known for, if you do in the ancient days, in Kurukshetra, the land of Kurukshetra, various rishis performed yajnas and yagas. If you do a yajna or yaga, religious ritual, Vedic ritual in Kurukshetra, lot of punya will be accrued. Merit will come to you. You will go to heaven because the land is sacred. If there is no merit already, you can acquire new merit by doing Vedic ritual there. If already merit is there, that will increase thousandfold. So Kurukshetra is that kind of land. In modern day, Kurukshetra is still there. It is there near Haryana in the northern part of India. Just like you sow a seed in a field, it grows into 1,000 seeds. A plant will come and 1,000 seeds will come. Similarly, if you do a karma in Kurukshetra, one karma will yield many fruits of karma for a person. A lot of punya will be accrued. This is well known in all Shrutis and Smritis. Vedas, holy scriptures talk about this, talk like this about Kurukshetra. It is also stated in the scripture Jabala Upanishad, in which Bruhaspati is said to say like this to Yagnavalkya. That which is known as Kurukshetra is a place of sacrifices, yajnas, to the gods by people of divine disposition. And it is an abode of Brahman, place of liberation to all creatures. Also, it is known in the scripture Shatapada Brahmana. Kurukshetra is indeed a place of sacrifices to the gods. So it is well known that Kurukshetra is a holy place. So Pandavas and Kauravas have reached Kurukshetra, the holy land, where they are designated to fight. Pandavas were virtuous, righteous, dharmic people from the beginning. From their birth, they were of divine disposition. They were good people, righteous people. So, if they reach the Kurukshetra, holy land, already they are dharmic people and they reach the Holy Land because of the holiness of their inner nature and the holiness of the land. They may get an idea, they may think that by engaging in a war which will kill many people, they will accrue demerit, papa. Out of fear of papa, demerit, sin, they may desist from fighting. Then my sons, Dhritarashtra is thinking like this. Pandavas being dharmic people, righteous people, out of fear of sin of killing people, if they say we will not fight, my sons Duryodhana and Kauravas will naturally gain the kingdom. Otherwise, if on the other hand, my sons who are wicked in nature, if they go to the Holy Land, because of the influence of the Holy Land Kurukshetra, if their minds are turned to goodness and they will say, we will not fight, we will give what is rightfully the portion of kingdom to Pandavas, then without battle, if they do like that, my sons would be as good as dead. Because right from childhood, they want the kingdom, they want the power. Therefore, this question of Dhritarashtra is coming out of a great anxiety, fear. He wants his sons to possess the kingdom and Pandavas to lose the kingdom. And ground reality is Pandavas are superior warriors and they may defeat the Kauravas and possess the kingdom. Because of this fear, he is asking this question. And he said, O Sanjaya. Sanjaya means some. Jaya. Some means fully, completely. Jaya means conquered, victory. What is the victory? Sanjaya is one. The name Sanjaya means one who has conquered the negative qualities in a person like hatred, anger, greed, jealousy, etc. So Sanjaya means he is beyond the negative qualities of a human being. So O Sanjaya, the one who is one who has a clarity, who is beyond, transcended the negative qualities. That means, Sanjaya, whatever you speak will be honest. You will speak honestly, sincerely. So tell me frankly, correctly, report to me what happened in the battlefield without fear or favor. So Dhritarashtra saying, if Dhritarashtra has asked, what did my sons do? Instead of that, he asked, what did my sons do? And what did Pandu's sons do? That shows that he is partial towards his sons and he had an intention of doing injustice to Pandu's sons. He has, in his mind, he sees Pandu's sons as a different people, not belonging to him, not as relatives, but as enemies. With this, we will conclude today's session. Hari Om Tat Sat, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.